Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We are still on Mario Kart 8 Wave 2, watch and wait. We're still. When is it ever coming out? There was a leaker that said it was dropping today, and they were proven completely wrong, and then they deleted their entire account. Now that Silex Hunter has thrown down the gauntlet, that's how it goes. You get one thing wrong, boom, you're out of there. Vaporized from the galaxy. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos, and if you're new here, welcome aboard. We got one heck of an awesome community and show for you all today, because we do have the solution to Silex Hunter's cryptic message, and Silex Hunter is now proven to be kind of like the #1 leaker in this space. Plus there's more from Nintendo, so let's dive straight into it. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I want to kick it off with a warning from Nintendo. I feel like they've been doing a bunch of these lately. They warned us about playing Switch in the extreme heat. They warned us that the Wii U and 3DS shops are going to be closed for new purchases, and now they're warning us about their buggy Wi-Fi adapter. Nintendo put out a tweet on their Japanese customer support page letting us know that we should stop using the Nintendo Wi-Fi USB connector. Now, let me remind you that this was intended for the DS and the Wii, so probably nobody's using it. But they say to stop using it over security concerns. Apparently there's a bug in the adapter that allows it to be infected by malware, and it uses insecure Wi-Fi protection algorithms, so bad device overall. Don't think anybody's still using this. It does make you wonder, like, has Nintendo cleaned up their act? Probably, hopefully, although they haven't cleaned up the leaks, because that Pokemon game continues to leak out in massive form. It is insane. But we now know there's Assault Pokemon. Amazing. Ridiculous. Scarlet and Violet are going to be so freaking hot. Cannot wait for those. But yeah, if you're still using the Wi-Fi USB connector for some weird, unknown reason, please stop. You might be opening yourself up to all sorts of security concerns, and Nintendo doesn't want to pay the price for their malfeasance. Speaking of malfeasance, oh my gosh, I take issue with this one. And let me know if you take issue, because I find this annoying and maybe offensive. So Animal Crossing issued a new tweet. Now, Animal Crossing, as we know, is that game that sold a couple copies, so they stopped supporting it. It didn't have a big fan base. It really didn't sell enough to justify getting prolonged DLC support like some of these other games that have multi-year road plans. But they did put out a new tweet saying, "Hi everyone, I hope all my friends in the Northern Hemisphere are keeping cool. Be sure to drink plenty of water, yada yada yada," and put out some fun new summer artwork. It's got Timmy and Tommy, Popsicle licking, Tom Nook chilling with his margarita, and it makes perfect sense because they absolutely are chilling. But what I find just wrong about this is somebody had to plan this. Somebody had to make this art or commission this art. Somebody had to go draft this tweet. Somebody had to do all of this. Instead of doing that, make a new item for the game. Instead of doing all of that, make a new villager for the game. It can't take that much longer to reskin a different goat or reskin a different tiger. It really can't. Or better yet, how about you take your already existing Splatoon villagers, your already existing Monster Hunter villagers, since those have a major role on Nintendo Switch, and move them into New Horizons. It wouldn't take a long time to turn those models a little bit more HD, and not even totally HD, because it's not like Animal Crossing is 4K or anything. Goodness gracious, how do they miss the mark on this one? Maybe more than any other. I know sometimes we take issue with their DLC plans, like some people are upset that Strikers is dropping Daisy and Shy Guy and they weren't in the initial roster. Mario Kart 8 promises all these waves, and then the waves stop, the water's still. Nobody knows when it's coming. Now it seems like it's going to be August. By the way, my prediction now is, Xenoblade's next week, so if it doesn't happen in the next 2 days, I think it's going to be August. I don't know. It seems like they are really playing the long game on this summer of fun. But Animal Crossing is, to me, maybe the worst, because it sold 40 million copies. People were eating it up, and it's very easy in that game to generate new content that is cheap and that is quick. You know, if you're gonna go make Mario Odyssey DLC, you might have to build a whole new kingdom. And if you're considering Mario Strikers even, you have to make characters that have different, animations and all sorts of stuff. Animal Crossing, no. You can just literally reskin so much that they already have. A new furniture set could literally be a color palette swap, and they won't do it. So stop tweeting us these images. put your time elsewhere. Either commit to the game being done and shuttered, or actually do something, because I think it's ridiculous that you tweet out this fun new picture and yet your game has not been updated like literally all year long. What did get an update though is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They put out an 8-minute overview trailer, and gosh, the game looks massive and massively impressive too. Like, Nintendo and Monolith know how to work together to push that Switch baby, and I really want to like this game. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest JRPG fan. I'm definitely not a big Xenoblade fan thus far, but a friend of mine put it best. He said, like, let's commit to forcing ourselves to like this game, which sounds completely psychotic, but I do think it's one, like, you gotta dig the time in and then reap the rewards, and I want, this game looks awesome. Does it not? Are you in the same situation as me? I know there's some that love Xenoblade and are like, dude, this game is gonna be the sickest. But for those of us who maybe aren't as into the franchise, do you see this and go, man, I gotta find a way to like this because it looks visually amazing. There's so much going on, and they're supporting it with an expansion pass that's already laid out. Hallelujah. And we know it's coming, and there's story content, and there's extra quests, and there's costumes, and there's characters. I want to love this game. Let me know if the overview trailer is doing it for you, and if you have any tips on how to force yourself to like a franchise that maybe you're not so much a fan of. Sounds kind of insane, but I want to do it. I also really wanted to do Silex Hunter's mysterious transmission, but detective work is hard when it's listed in binary and completely obtuse. We had Silex Hunter on our channel, and we interviewed him via a text transmission, because obviously bounty hunter out in space, hard to get some audio interviews, but we got the text, and boy did he make some waves. If you missed that interview, you got to check it out. It went up on the channel earlier this week. Silex Hunter, he threw the gauntlet down. Like I said, he made all other leakers quiver in their shock boots, and he pulled no punches. All right, but he ended with a cryptic message of binary, and it basically correlated to 7/25/16, which seemed like a date in 2016, and people are trying to suss out, is it July 25th? Is it something with February 16th? Is it like, oh, Wave 2 of Mario Kart has 16 tracks on July 25th? It turns out that if you convert the binary numbers to normal numbers, and then those numbers to letters, you get YGPB. Yeah, that makes no sense, but somebody on Twitter named Bozo Chozo did the dirty deed of figuring this out for us, and they tweeted Silex Hunter and said, this is obviously F-Zero. You got power boost. And he said, you are correct. F-Zero coming back. This is from a leaker that correctly predicted much of what was in the third-party partner showcase, correctly predicted Bayonetta's release date, correctly predicted Bayonetta 3's announcement of the release date, and now is saying that you're right about F-Zero. He does note, maybe manage your expectations a little bit, but F-Zero coming back in any capacity is kind of crazy, especially because Nintendo was recently asked about F-Zero at their investor call, and they were like, we can't make sequels to everything. And now Silex is teasing F-Zero, and I mean, a brand new F-Zero would be amazing. There's some other theories that are thrown out there because of the manage your expectations tweet. Like, 1, could it be a remake? 2, could it be like an eShop F-Zero, like a smaller F-Zero, kind of what they're doing with Kirby's Dream Buffet? 3, could it be like F-Zero Game Boy Advance being one of the launch titles for Switch Online Game Boy Advance? All of these are options, as well as F-Zero 99, kind of being like a Battle Royale, Tetris 99, Super Mario 35 type game on Switch Online, featuring F-Zero and the fun, freaking fast-paced racing and falcon punching that game has delivered in not a very long time. So F-Zero, it's picking up steam, and if Silex is to be trusted, which right now, of the leakers, he has the most credibility, and also he's a crazy bounty hunter who will get you if you question him, but you can question him because he's been right about everything. He's saying F-Zero is returning in some form, and that would be really cool. Nintendo kind of tapping back into an older, more culty niche franchise that doesn't have as wide of appeal, and seeing, could it have wide appeal on Switch? With the Switch being so big and bombastic and sales, could a game like F-Zero do super well? I mean, we found out that Metroid Dread did super well, even previously being not a super high selling series, Animal Crossing outpacing everything, as we recently discussed. This could be cool. And I'll take anything. I'll take a remake. I'll take an eShop game. I'll take 99. My pick would obviously be a new game, so I'd prefer the eShop thing. If like a brand new, like small F-Zero with a limited track list and like, I love when Nintendo does racing. And since Mario Kart 9 seems years off, this would be perfect. So we'll keep tabs on this, okay? The F-Zero rumor mill is really rolling right now. And good job, everybody, converting the binary to numbers, the letters to a phrase, and the phrase to a game. Also, I just want to let everybody know, of course, I've seen some people questioning it, but I am not Silex Hunter, okay? No way. I am not this maniacal bounty hunter knowing all of this Nintendo stuff before it even happens. It's not me. But what about you? What do you think? Are you Silex Hunter? Well, I don't know, but I do know what you think about how Nintendo handles their DLC on Switch overall, and it's not good. 65% of you said that no, they don't handle DLC on Switch very well. And this kind of comes into question because we've seen them have no real plan with the Mario Kart Wave schedule. Strikers is dropping characters that should have been initially in there. They did the same with Golf and Tennis Aces. And in general, their DLC is just so sporadic. It didn't start off this way because initially, like Zelda got an expansion and that was really cool. Even stuff like Sword and Shield got expansions and it was very spelled out. But with the Mario Sports titles and with Mario Kart, there is no rhyme or reason. And I'll even throw Nintendo Switch Online into the fray. They did good with N64 recently, but prior to that, it was like Helter Skelter. And now we're back to Helter Skelter because we don't even know what games are next on the agenda for Nintendo. I think the biggest thing Nintendo needs to do is I think that they need to be more clear with their fan base on what is coming when. Because saying Mario Kart's gonna get all these waves and all these tracks and then giving no concrete info is so rough. Even just saying, hey, it's coming in August, it's coming in July, it's coming in September, a month would be so helpful. Setting expectations is so critical to managing a fan base, and Nintendo seems to miss that mark very, very often. They don't really know how to do that part, and I think that's the difficulty with DLC, because ultimately, the stuff is pretty cool. Like, their DLC is pretty good. It's just the way that they roll it out is kind of gnarly, and I do understand with the Mario Sports stuff that some people feel that's bad. Like, they should keep it all in the original game, all on the cart, and not drag it out to make the full game happen and take place over a year. I think Nintendo's DLC is at its best when it's expansions. Like the Octo expansion for Splatoon was great. I mentioned the Breath of the Wild expansion, Champion's Ballad, that was great. They have done some really nice stuff, and there's a few surprises like Super Mario Party getting online way late in the cycle. But yeah, 35% say yay, 65% say nay. Nintendo, you've got some work to do. And of course, we have more work to do. GMM will be back tomorrow. I'll see you all then. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you pumped about F-Zero? Are you pumped about Xenoblade? Are you still using a Nintendo Wi-Fi USB adapter, and why? Please fill me in. I'd love to know. Until that time though, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. I love y'all a lot. Appreciate you even more. Thanks again. SwitchForce out.